Synchronicity clues, the events in life that can send us into deep awareness or plunge us into hyper-vigilance or misleading beliefs. Like so many tools in Satori, this isn't about deciding truth from fiction, but rather about noticing how events and our interpretation of them affect our gameplay. Synchronicity clues are what our rational minds call coincidence. Yet we can probably see, if we look deeply, that we ultimately do not know whether the events in our gameplay are random, are predetermined, or whether correlations we perceive indicate causations. For our purposes, there is value in imagining and treating the world as if the coincidences we perceive are actually not random, but are specially generated clues just for us. A word of caution. Remember that we are programmed to interpret clues as things that point us deeper into getting lost in the gameplay. Real clues will always point to something meta, and are best interpreted in that manner. If a clue, for instance, seems to be verifying what some people could call a conspiracy theory, that may or may not be true within the gameplay, but the theory is not actually relevant to our deeper gameplay. It's only another aspect of the game, no different than money or media or any other distraction that will lead us further into delusion. When you see a coincidence, consider it to be the game telling you that things are not simply random. Then see what happens. For most of us, these coincidences will then begin to increase in frequency and unlikeliness, further serving to convince us that the world is more, interesting than we may have been led to believe. Remember that all of this is in the language of myth, and that the key is to believe without believing. If we can do that, synchronicity clues are one of the most powerful clues we can be given in our gameplay. In our next video, we'll talk about realization clues.